we shall know more of what pertains to manners, and shall be persuaded that the virtues are media, when we understand what takes place in all of them. With respect, therefore, to the associations of men with each other, we have already spoken concerning those who associate with a view to pleasure and pain. But let us now consider those who are men of veracity or falsehood, alike in words and deeds, and dissimulation. The arrogant man, therefore, appears to be one who pretends to things of a splendid nature which he does not possess, or to such as are more splendid than he possesses. The dissembler, on the contrary, denies what he possesses, or makes it to be less than it is. But the middle character, forming a just opinion of himself, is a man of veracity in his life, and in his words, acknowledging that he possesses what he does possess, and neither more nor less. Each of these, however, may be done for the sake of something, or for the sake of nothing. But such as a man is, such also will be his words and actions, and such also will be his life, unless he acts for the sake of something. Of itself, however, falsehood is bad and blamable, but truth is beautiful and laudable. Hence, the man of veracity, indeed, being a middle character, is laudable. But of the two characters who want veracity, both indeed are blamable, but the arrogant man more than the other. We shall, however, speak concerning each of these, and in the first place concerning the man of veracity. For we do not speak of the man who has veracity in compacts, and in things which pertain to injustice or justice, for this will belong to another virtue. But we speak of him who, though nothing of this kind should occur, is a man of veracity, both in words and in his life, because he is such from habit. But such a one will appear to be a worthy man. For he who is a lover of truth, and who speaks the truth in things in which it is of no consequence whether he does or not, will in a still greater degree speak the truth of things in which it is of consequence. For he will avoid what is false as base, and which also he will of itself avoid. But such a man is worthy of praise. He will, however, if it should be requisite to deviate from the medium, rather incline to what is less than the truth. For this appears to be more elegant, because excesses are troublesome and invidious. But he who pretends that he possesses things of greater consequence than he really does, and this for the sake of nothing else, resembles indeed the depraved man. For otherwise he would not be delighted with falsehood, yet he seems to be rather a vain than a bad man. If, however, he does this for the sake of something, such as glory or honour, he is not very blamable, as the arrogant man is. But if he does it for the sake of money, or for things which pertain to money, he is more base. But the arrogant man is not characterized by capacity or power, but by deliberate choice. For he is arrogant according to habit, and because he is such a character. Thus also with respect to the man who is without veracity, one delights in falsehood itself, but another delights in it in consequence of aspiring after glory or gain. Those, therefore, who are arrogant for the sake of glory, pretend the possession of those things for which men are praised, or proclaimed to be happy. But those who are arrogant for the sake of gain, pretend to be those characters with which others are delighted, and of which the non-possession may be latent, such as to be a physician, or a prophet, or a wise man. On this account most men pretend and arrogate to themselves things of this kind, for they possess the above-mentioned qualities. Dissemblers, or the ironical, however, who speak less than the truth, appear indeed to be more elegant in their manners. For they do not seem to speak for the sake of gain, but in consequence of avoiding fastidiousness. But these persons especially deny that they possess things of an illustrious nature, as also Socrates did. Those, however, who pretend that they do not possess small things, and which are obvious, are called crafty or delicate deceivers, and are very contemptible men. Sometimes also this species of dissimulation appears to be arrogance. Such, for instance, as the garments of the Lacedaemonians. For excess and very great deficiency alike pertain to arrogance. But those who moderately use irony, and are ironical in things which are not very much known and obvious, appear to be elegant men. The arrogant man, however, seems to be opposed to the man of veracity, for he is a worse character. CHAPTER 8. Since, however, there is a certain relaxation in life, and rest from labour, And since this remission is accompanied with jesting, it appears that here also there is a certain elegant method of conversation, in which such things are said as are proper, and are delivered in a proper manner. And similarly with respect to hearing what it is proper to hear, and hearing it in such a way as is fit. But there is a difference in speaking to some persons rather than to others, and in hearing some things rather than others. It is evident, however, that in these things also there is an excess and deficiency with respect to the medium. Those therefore who exceed in the ridiculous appear to be scurrilous and troublesome. For they entirely affect the ridiculous, and aim more at exciting laughter, than at speaking in a becoming manner, and not giving pain to the object of their ridicule. But those who do not say themselves anything ridiculous, and are indignant with those who do, appear to be rustic and rigorous. Those, however, who jest elegantly are called facetious and versatile, as being of a flexible genius. For of manners there appear to be such like motions. But as a judgment is formed of bodies from motions, so likewise of manners. Since, however, there is a redundancy of the ridiculous, and most men delight in jests and cavilling more than is proper, the scurrilous also are called versatile, as being polite and pleasant. But that they differ, and in no small degree, is evident from what has been said. To the middle habit, also, dexterity is appropriate. But it is the province of a dexterous man to say and hear such things as are adapted to a worthy and liberal man. For there are certain things which it becomes such a one to say and hear in jest. And the jesting of a liberal differs from that of a servile man. And again, the jesting of an erudite differs from that of an inerudite man. But the truth of this may be seen, both from ancient and modern comedies. For in the former, the ridiculous consisted in obscenity, but in the latter, the suspicion of obscenity rather excited laughter. These things, however, differ in no small degree with respect to the decorous and elegant. Whether, therefore, is he who ridicules well to be defined by this, that he says what it becomes a liberal man to say? Or by this, that he does not pain, or that he delights the hearer? Or shall we say that a thing of this kind is indefinite? For a different thing is odious and pleasing to a different person. He will also hear things of this kind, viz. Things that are adapted to a worthy and liberal man. For such things as a man endures to hear, such also he appears to do. He will not, therefore, do or say everything, for cavilling is a certain invective. Legislators, however, forbid certain invectives, and perhaps it would be proper that they should also forbid cavilling. The elegant and liberal man, therefore, will so conduct himself, as if he were a law to himself. Hence, the middle character is a man of this description, whether he is to be denominated dexterous or versatile. But the scurrilous man is vanquished by the ridiculous, and neither spares himself nor others if he can excite laughter. He likewise says such things as the elegant man would never say, and some things that he says the elegant man would not even endure to hear. The rustic man, however, is useless with respect to such conversations, for, contributing nothing, he is indignant with all of them. But relaxation and jesting appear to be necessary to the life of man. There are, therefore, the above mentioned three media in life, but all of them are conversant with the communion of certain words and actions. They differ, however, because one of them is conversant with truth, but the others are conversant with the delectable. But of the media which pertain to pleasure, one indeed is conversant with jests, but the other with the associations which belong to the rest of life. Chapter 9. With respect to shame, it is not fit to speak of it as of a certain virtue, for it resembles passion more than habit. It is defined, therefore, to be a certain dread of infamy, and, similar to fear, it is exercised about dreadful things. For those who are under the influence of shame become red, or blush, but those who have the fear of death upon them are pale. Hence, both these appear to be in a certain respect corporeal, which seems rather to belong to passion than to habit. This passion, however, is not adapted to every age, but to youth. For we think it requisite that young persons should be bashful, because they commit many errors in consequence of living from passion, but are restrained from the commission of them by shame. And we praise indeed bashful young men.